Is Cozy Caravan worth buying in early access? Let's talk about it. Cozy Caravan is a cute game that released in early access on Steam in May of 2024. It's a single-player, top-down journey where you explore an adorable world, forage items, help those around you, even hold a market in different towns every weekend. You can customize your own character, choosing from many types of adorable animals. I personally chose the strawberry cow because it's the best option. This game is so darling, but it is in early access. So should you buy it now or should you wait until it's fully released? I made a video back when the game initially released in early access, and there were quite a few bugs back then, so I figured that an updated video was well overdue at this point and much needed, because that video no longer represents what the game is like at this time. And so I was gifted this game. They don't know I'm making this video. I just decided to do it because I really like this game and I want to talk about what I think and help you guys out too, making a decision on if it's right for you to play it in early access or not. Cozy Caravan is currently $19.99 on Steam, and the price is likely to increase when the game leaves early access and enters into full release. They even say on their Steam page that it's probably going to increase in price. Full release for Cozy Caravan could be as soon as the end of 2024, or it could be pushed later on, maybe into 2025. There is no definitive release date for 1.0 release. If you are not familiar with early access on Steam is when the developers allow their game to be played on Steam, the platform Steam, during the development period as they work towards the full or final release. Early access encourages ongoing updates from the developers, and it also lets players participate in feedback through the gameplay and community development. So, in other words, the game is not completed, not fully finished. You may experience bugs, and being part of early access, you are able to provide feedback to the developers that they can then take and use in the game to improve it. Yeah, that's basically what early access is, and the purpose behind it is just that players playing the game can give feedbacks to the developers while they're developing it. So why early access for Cozy Caravan? The developers of Cozy Caravan share that they find feedback from the community helpful to address issues in the game as they're working on it, and that they've done something similar with past games they've developed. Their community Discord is the place where they are collecting most of this feedback, so if you want to buy this game at the end of the video, then join their Discord because you can see all the things that have already been submitted as bugs. You can also submit bugs that you run into, and you can give ideas for what animals you want in the game, what updates you think would be cool, what you want to see, what future features you want to have in this game. I am in their Discord, and they are extremely receptive to feedback, and they are very awesome with adding in updates and suggestions. A lot of the updates that I've seen have been reported in the Discord or suggested, and we will talk about all of that later. For example, a suggestion that I posted in the Discord was added basically the same day, and this suggestion was that Rigby, who is the bee who drives the caravan, that every day when the character says hi to him and gives him some pets, that we would gain heart happiness from it. So the happiness or the hearts that you gain give you like points towards earning tokens that you can spend at the guild rep. Yeah, they basically added that in. They even added this cute little wiggle that Rigby does when you pet him, and I absolutely love that, and it feels really cool to see an idea or a suggestion that you gave be put into the game. And that is a very fun benefit of being part of early access, is that you get to be close to the development and the devs might actually like the suggestion that you gave. Now moving on to the next thing, which is who is early access for, especially pertaining to this game. Early access is for those who are okay with a game that is not fully completed and sometimes not even fully fleshed out. Maybe all of the ideas and concepts aren't quite there yet, or you aren't really aware of what's to come. Each game that is in early access can be a totally different experience, where some games might feel fully complete and other games might feel very buggy, unpolished, and unfinished overall. But in my opinion, it is much better to release an unfinished game in early access than to fully release the game and it's buggy and feels like very unpolished. So that's my personal opinion. Cozy Caravan has been released in early access with a very clear indication that they want to receive feedback from players. They are very looped in with their community, as I've seen through their Discord. It is very important that the devs are involved and receptive to the feedback. So early access is for those who are willing and comfortable to give feedback. Of course, you can play the game as it is without ever giving feedback, without ever joining their Discord, but the game has been released by the developers with receiving feedback from you in mind. So just keep that in your mind if you do pick it up and play. So you need to go into the game with your expectations aligned. There may be bugs. You may play all of the content that there is. That's just part of early access in this case. So let's talk about what to expect with early access from Cozy Caravan. I'm going to read right off of Cozy Caravan's Steam page for this. There is a disclaimer that is from Steam, which says this early access game is not complete and may or may not change further. If you are not excited to play this game in its current state, then you should wait to see if the game progresses further in development. And then right from Cozy Caravan, this is what they say about early access and what to expect. The early access version currently contains the first region of the world. It is playable with quests, characters, and activities, and we plan to add more content here as we continue developing Cozy Caravan. We are also currently developing the next region, which we hope to release in early access. Additionally, we have early plans for more regions beyond these two, which we hope to further develop and use to expand the game. However, if these regions are added, they may not be in the planned 1.0 release, and instead come in later updates following the full release. Currently, Cozy Caravan allows players to explore the farmland region along with its associated characters, quests, and activities. This area introduces players to the world, the core mechanics, and sets them off on their first leg of their journey. There are characters to help, recipes to unlock, and markets to operate. While the roads lead to the next region are present in the current build, they are currently blocked off until the development there reaches a level where we are ready to start receiving player feedback. So this is really interesting. I think the one thing that stands out, there's the possibility that regions that are added in early access might be then held off and added later to the 1.0 release, so I don't know what that means. However, if these regions are added, they may not be in the planned 1.0 release and instead come in later updates. So that's confusing because it says if they are added. I feel like it would make more sense if they say if they aren't added, but I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. My friend Bailey pointed out that detail to me, and I didn't really think much of it before, but it's very interesting to note. While you're playing Cozy Caravan, it is possible to play all of the content that there is. That's kind of how I was when I first played, and then they kind of added some new things here and there that made me go back in, but I had to wait for that new update, right? So expect that that can be the case in this early access build. The game could also change pretty drastically, meaning that a major storyline could be added, and that might make you want to restart the whole game from scratch. Not everybody likes to do that, so in that case you might want to wait until the full release to play it. Early access games sometimes also take away the opportunity to experience the game in its full mode, the way it's intended to be played, because you've already experienced the game in the way it, they were figuring out still how it was intended to be played. So I felt like that when I played Coral Island. I was playing in early access, waiting for the next update, then I'd go back in and play, and when the game was finally fully released, I had wished that I was experiencing it all together, fully for the first time, and even though I technically was experiencing it fully for the first time, I had already known what was going to happen, what the story was, what quests were going to come up, and so I wasn't able to have that first time play experience where it's completely intended to be played in that way, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. It's a hard thing to explain. So let's talk about the initial release versus the current release as of July of 2024 when I'm making this video. In my first Cozy Caravan video, I initially played the game and there were so many bugs. Things that were frustrating and quite annoying. Things that did not allow me to progress quests, but since then the game has been updated and they have fixed a lot of those bugs. They updated and added hotfixes every day for 7 days straight after the initial early access release. So the dev team was on top of it, and they are clearly working so hard. The first content update was called 0.12, and this was on May 31st, and it added in a new denim outfit pack that you could buy at the guild rep in the game with your in-game currency. It also fixed a host of bugs that were causing player difficulty, one of which was the Jimothy quest that I got stuck on in my previous video, so I'm glad that they had fixed that. They also posted a very basic roadmap during this update, which the community was asking for. The next hotfix was on June 4th, and it fixed about 4 different bugs. And then following this, on June 6th was the next content update, which means they were actually adding some content into the game, not just doing a fix, a quick fix. So this update was called the 0.13 content update, and it added 4 new outfits straight into the player's wardrobe that you start with in the game, and it fixed 3 bug fixes, one of which included a custom cursor, which I think is cool. They also provided an updated roadmap indicating that the rest of Harvestvale will soon open up for the player to explore, which is really exciting. The next content update, which was still marked as 0.13, came a little later, and it included a Froggy outfit pack, which is so cute, and you can buy this at the guild rep in the game. It also included 2 bug fixes. The following update was a major update, meaning they were adding a lot into this one. This update introduced the south part of Harvestdale, opening up a whole new area to explore in the game, and this update added in a cozy quest tracker that isn't too in your face because they want the game to feel low-key, play at your own pace, rather than feeling fetch questy and overwhelming. They want it to live up to the Cozy Caravan title. So the quest tracker can be found on the map when you click the postcards of each location. The quest tracker can be found on the map, and when you click the postcards on the map, it will flip over and you'll see the quests pertaining to that location. They also introduced pacing for the game in this update, meaning that certain quests needed to have prerequisites, requiring completing other quests first or unlocking and upgrading something else before a quest will open. So that was added, and it's going to help with the pacing of the game, which I think is a really good decision on their part. They also made some Steam Deck support updates in this one, and the main difficulty that they were having prior to this was that players who were playing on Steam Deck were not able to easily type in their character's name when they were doing character creation. So now they fixed it so that the keyboard will pop up automatically when you're trying to enter your name. The game is pretty much playable on Steam Deck, and they have submitted for Steam Deck verification, so hopefully they'll get that soon, and that would remove the unsupported label on Steam Deck, and it would hopefully also add a green check mark, making the game listed as fully Steam Deck verified. At this point, they also updated the roadmap, indicating where we are on the map, as well as many other changes, fixes, and additions too, and you can read all of those on their Steam page. There were many smaller hotfixes and then a few more content updates. They added 4 new outfits to the wardrobe, 2 main bug fixes. Another update added in a pastel outfit pack with a cute strawberry dress that I like. They also added in the ability to wave to groups of people all at once instead of one person at a time, which is a great update as well. In another update, they added Magic Cave of Magic, which is where you can go there to pay a price and change into any other species of animals that they offer. They also added 3 new caravan types, which are so so cute. It seems like you can mix and match how the decor goes and how the colors match on there, which is really cool. They also added some new accessibility options for camera movement and sounds, which is really nice. I love when games have a lot of accessibility options, and as well other fixes and changes. And in the most recent content update on July 18th, they added a content update with a Gothic Caravan pack, which is so cool. So now we're going to take a look here at the updated roadmap. So this is the most up-to-date roadmap that they have out right now. And as you can see, we are going to get 2 more clothing packs or clothing added in with the next 2 updates. One of them looks like it's included with a caravan update as well, which is what I'm guessing that wheel is. And that one will also come with 2 new animals added, is what I'm guessing from this. As well, the 0.3 new region is only about 2 content updates away from what is going to be a major update, meaning they would have already added in those 2 regions that they were mentioning in their early access description. And then after that, it looks like there's another clothing outfits pack being added. And then there's like some water with a fish. I'm not sure if that's anything. And then there's question marks looking like they're not sure. It looks like there's a 0.4 question mark. And then there's squash all the bugs and eat them, snack break, bunch of question marks, some lighthouse, a for later thing teased right there, and then full release. So from this map, it looks like they have a lot they need to figure out and then update us on and do a better roadmap. So I'm sure that will be in the future. It also makes me feel like we're pretty close to that full release, but it also seems like they might do a 0.4 and 0.5 release before the 1.0. So we're just gonna have to kind of wait and see on that one. But that is the most up-to-date roadmap right now. And I did want to mention that one of their previous roadmaps, which I'll show here, included a dragon on the side, and I wonder if that got scrapped or if that was a little tease for something to come. It's very, very interesting that it's not on there anymore. So my overall thoughts, I have played 16 plus hours in this game. I find it very fun and very relaxing. I really like it. I find that the game is perfect to be played in short spurts, so from 1 to 2 hours at a time, not longer than that. But the game is meant to be played in more short spurts, but obviously you can play it however you like. I find it exciting to be a part of the development, and I was very, very excited for this game. I would have bought this game in early access whether I was gifted this game or not, because it has strawberry cows in it, and that just pulls my heartstrings a lot. I like strawberry cows a lot. I like them. This game does feel a bit more unfinished than other early access games that I've played. It is very cool to see what seems to be weekly updates coming to the game, some which are much bigger than others. Some are just outfits being added, but still, it shows that the development team is really on top of this game right now. It's very clear that they are taking player feedback very seriously and they are incorporating it into the game with every hotfix and every update. And ultimately, it is up to you how you would like to experience this game. Do you want to wait and experience this game when it's full of content and has a complete story with little to no bug fixes? If so, then you should wait for the full release. And that is totally fine and that is totally valid, and you can do that. Or you could buy it now, get it for the discount in early access, and then wait to play it later down the line. Or you can also experience the game right now for what content it has, experiencing the game being updated along the way, built as you play it, new things being added, changed, sometimes maybe even taken away in the process of playing the game. And that is a whole different gameplay experience, and possibly different than what it might be at that full release, meaning you might have to start a new save at some point, get stuck in bugs, lose progress, all sorts of things like that could happen in early access. My friend Bailey also gave me her insight on early access, and I think it's really good insight. She determines buying the game in early access based on the amount of content for the price, and I think that's a really good way to look at it. For me personally, I think this game has a good amount of content right now for the price, because you can play 20 plus hours in this game right now, and it's $20. So all in all, some games I want to experience from the full release point, and I don't want to play them in early access. There are many I'm waiting to get out of early access, but I have not been minding Cozy Caravan's process at all. I think it's great, and I think they're doing a great job with it. Ultimately, I do recommend this game in early access, as you can get several hours out of it, and you can expect several updates and roadmap updates, but you also need to be in the mindset that this is early access, that this game is not perfect right now, and I hope that this video gave you an idea of what to expect if you do buy the game in early access. Will you play Cozy Caravan in early access, or are you waiting for the full release? Let me know in the comments below, and hopefully, I'll see you in my next YouTube video. Bye!